So this video is actually for two different programs. If you are a school-age child, then you are most likely watching this because you have gotten the Take and Make kit for our Mudagrees DIY pet fashion program. And if you are a teen, then you are most likely watching this video because you are going to be making bow ties to donate to shelter animals. So this is a 2-for-1. It works for both programs, and I am going to show you what you are going to do with the materials that came in your kits. Now, for the pet fashion program for the school-age kids, you will get a little extra craft, and that is a blank bandana and some fabric markers. And what you'll do with this is simply color whatever you want. You can write your pet's name, maybe draw some paw prints or whatever you want on here, and then you simply fold it in half like a triangle, and you can use this to tie around your pet's neck as a fun little extra fashion accessory for them. So that's all you have to do for the bandana part of this project. Now, for the bow ties, it's a little bit more involved, and if you are a teen, you're going to want to pay extra special attention to this part because this is what you're going to be making to give back to us to donate to local animal shelters where they will use these adorable bow ties for pet adoption events or promo pictures and stuff like that. So we will get right into the tutorial for making these adorable little bow ties. Okay. So the first thing you're going to want to do for your bow tie is make the actual collar part. Now, if you are making this for your pet at home, so if you got that DIY pet fashion kit, then you can actually just take this ribbon and put it around your pet's neck to kind of measure how long you want it to be, and make sure you let it overlap like an inch or two so that you can put the velcro on there. So that way you know it will be the right size for your pet. If you are a teen doing this project for community service, then on your instruction sheet you will be assigned a certain size to make. So this is how we're going to make sure that we have a couple bow ties that are for small dogs, some for medium-sized dogs, and some for large dogs at the shelter as well. So for those small dogs, you'll cut your ribbon to 14 inches. For the medium-sized dogs, you will cut your ribbon to 20 inches, and for big dogs, you will cut your ribbon to 26 inches. And so you'll need to find a ruler in your house, or you can kind of just eyeball it a little bit, so you can measure out how long your ribbon should be. So for this demo, I am going to make a ribbon for a medium-sized dog, so I am going to have to measure out my ribbon to 20 inches. So what I'm going to do is measure 20 inches here. So my ruler obviously only goes to 12 inches. So I'm just going to kind of mark where that 12 inches went and then go back down here, and I need 8 more inches to get 20, right? So now I'll go to the 8 there. So I know that I need to cut my ribbon right here. Okay. So now I have a 20-inch long ribbon that I will use for the collar. Okay? Now we are going to make the bow. I'm going to just put this ribbon aside for now. So to make the bow, we will need these 2 different fabric pieces that have already been measured and cut out for you. And you might have some little like strings on the side. You can just trim those off. Try not to pull them too much because they'll start to unravel your fabric, but if you can just kind of neatly trim the edges. And these are all going to get folded in anyway. You'll see what I mean in a second. So don't worry too much if your edges are a little bit rough looking. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do for the bow tie is take the bigger fabric rectangle, and you are going to put it upside down so the nice side of the fabric is facing the table, and you are going to fold the top down and the bottom up so that they are overlapping a little bit, making kind of like a long fabric tube, right? So again, I'm just folding the top down and the bottom up so that they are overlapping a little bit, making one long, thin tube or rectangle, just like that. Okay, and then you are going to kind of put your hand in the middle here, and you're going to take the sides and you're going to fold them in towards the center. And how much you fold them in is kind of up to you, depending on how big you want your bow to be. I am going to kind of fold them in so they are also overlapping just a little tiny bit. So now I have totally folded this rectangle up and it looks like this, right? Doesn't look much like a bow tie yet, but it will soon, I promise. All right, so now what we're gonna do is, holding this all together, we are going to actually just pinch it in the middle just like that. And look, now it is starting to resemble a bow tie a little bit more, right? Now this part's a little bit tricky and you might need someone else to help you. An extra set of hands is always helpful in crafts like this. So what you'll do now is you're going to take that smaller piece of fabric and you're going to actually wrap it around the middle of your bow tie to tie it in the back. And before that, I do that, you can see how like wide this is compared to my bow. So I'm actually going to fold this as well. And see, I'm still holding this with this hand. You can put it down. That's what, I'll just put this down so it's a little less confusing to watch. But I'm gonna do the same thing here where I'm gonna fold this so it's nice and thin. And then I'm gonna come back here again and pinch this. All right, so now I've got my bow shape and I've got my folded piece of skinny fabric here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just tie this around the middle of my bow so it holds everything in place and really makes it look like an actual bow tie. So I'm just going to tie this just like you normally would tie a knot. You're going to want to make sure it's nice and tight and it's holding all of your fabric ends in. So make sure you tuck it all in there before you pull it really tight, okay? All right, here we go. I am pulling this tight. All right, now it looks a little bit wonky, right? So we're gonna take our scissors and we are going to trim the ends of that fabric that we just wrapped around the middle and tied it with. So I'm gonna trim right there. And I am going to trim right here. So now I have a little bow tie, right? And this side is kind of coming untucked a little bit. So what I can do is I can try to push it down inside my knot a little bit better there. And if you overlap your fabric a little bit more, it's a little bit easier. I didn't want to make my bow too small. But there we go, that's much better. All right, so now I have my little bow. And all we have left to do is attach it to our ribbon and then make the closure for our ribbon as well. And to do that, all we need to do is take these Velcro pieces that you got in your kit, and you are going to need 2 sets. So one is going to attach your bow to the ribbon. So I'm gonna put one piece of Velcro on the back of my knot here, and this is also going to kind of help hold everything together. So I've got one piece of Velcro right there in the middle of my bow, and I'm going to put the other part of the Velcro on the middle of the ribbon where I want the bow to go. So we'll just stick it right in the middle there like that, and then we can take our bow and attach it with the Velcro to our ribbon collar. All right. Now, all that's left to do is make the closure for our ribbon as well. So, same thing, we're going to take one piece of Velcro and we are going to put it on the outside of one end of the piece of ribbon, like that, right, on the outside. And then the other Velcro is going to have to go on the inside of the other end. That way you can close it like this and you won't have like a weird tail. If you put them on the same side, that'll happen. So you want to make sure that one piece of Velcro goes on the outside of the ribbon like that, and then the other piece of Velcro is going to go on the inside of the other end right here. so that when you're done, you can just take these pieces of Velcro and put them together and you have a closed collar, no-sew bow tie. That wasn't too bad, right? That was pretty easy. The trickiest part is holding all that fabric together to get it all tied and nice looking. All right, so remember that if you're a teen and you made this bow tie for community service, the bow ties need to be returned to the Center Reach Library building by Monday, December 21st. Drop them off at the Underground or Youth Services desks, and we will send you a community service certificate. And we would love to see pictures of your pets wearing their new bow ties and bandanas. So the kids who did the DIY pet fashion part of this program, if you want to take some pictures of your pets wearing their new fashion accessories and send them to us on social media or email them to us at the library, we would love to see them. All right, so that's it for this program. Bye.